进化院去，但是没有一个人敢开口。
Secrets they help me keep. They're destroying me.
你想问我有没有伤害查理？
我也不会是第一次了。我想我们两个都是学习不起。
我可能有不见得光的东西。
这家里的人没有一个是无辜的。
Charlie had something to hide, and you have something to hide, but you know what? It will come out.
Don't you ever tell me what I have to do.
You know, people who do this sort of thing, they don't stop. They can't. Not until they die. Or somebody else does.
Well, probably should be.
I started on the season 2, but the question that we're talking about is kind of beyond blood and water. It's really, like if you ask me about the boundary or the cultural thing, I came here in 1992 as contract work, and then after the contract was over, I didn't like the job, but I liked Vancouver and I stayed. And I became a Canadian in 1998, and I decided that I want to run for city council in 2003. I almost got in. I was less than 500 votes behind Sam Sullivan. He was the number 10th. He got right in. I was right outside the door. Still today, I asked him, I said, if I ask for recount, you will never be the mayor. We still joke about that. But anyway, I think first of all, people will look at each other differently when they are different. And I think that is human nature. So I never feel any need or any urge to fight or whatever, because I personally, if you look at the background, I was born in Macau, and I speak Cantonese, and I know nothing about Mandarin. I study in a British elementary school, primary school, and then when I was 12 years old, I was just located to Taiwan in the southern part, of Mandarin and Taiwanese. I can read Chinese. Talking about being an outsider. It's not only when we locate ourselves in a Western country. Within China, you can be a total foreigner and discriminated and beaten up. So, for me, I never, these white, yellow, whatever, when I said boundary doesn't exist for me, I think it was my training. Because if I don't accept people, how could I expect people to accept me? So I have been always kind of negative all the time. I never fight. I'm always there to learn and to find out what other people. So that's why I see a lot of all these arts or whatever. It's about expressing yourselves. But in a movie, in a lot of communications, it's not about what you express, it's how you express it. It's not about what you want to talk, it's about what other people hear from your voice. So, do you know what I'm getting to now about this movie? This movie is getting to the point where we start to use the way that people are more familiar with. In the past, we try to bring a Chinese or an Asian community that doesn't even exist in today's Asia. How can we convince people that this is reality? Today, this film, the language that happens in the family, the the problems, the sex abuse, it's life. There's good things, there are bad things. When we present ourselves as the people will accept us as the people. If we present ourselves as Confucius' ideal human being, then we are never convincing because we can't even convince ourselves. So reality and good script is what cross the border. When the border, just one last thing is that I've been interviewed by CBC about, you said earlier, in the big movement now in Hollywood about no good roles for Chinese or Asian actors. I think I'm not going to United States soon because I said, why do we expect a white boy write a good role for us? Why? The best story, the best writer writes about their own story. And that's why it's convincing. If we don't have a good story written by ourselves, about ourselves, how can we expect and blame other people of why did you give me such a lousy role? Why did you write such a lousy role? I don't think we have that right to say that. So that's why I'm very happy that someone worked very hard to present something like this so that we can be irresistible and we are marketable. That we can be achievable. So work hard. There's nothing called a big barrier that we cannot cross. I hate to use his example again. It seems that I'm exploiting his fame and name. But look at Ing Lee. He presented himself. He can talk. He can even interpret Shakespeare's or any other Western in his own way that is presentable, that is convincible, that is marketable. We need to work harder. And that, I think, today, beauty about Canada is that if you work hard, you have the chance. I'm not saying you will succeed, but you have the chance.
Why did it take so long for people to get to this point? Other than, you mentioned there's the perception that people will be interested, but in fact it seems people are interested. Are there any other reasons, or can you talk about why it took so long to get to this point?
It's hard enough to make a English-Canadian movie or drama that is marketable and can sell and get good rating, because our best talents are typically drawn, to Hollywood, because that's where. I mean, let's be fair. There's a lot of good show in the United States, right? I don't need to tell you. So we barely can keep up with our southern neighbor when it comes to popular culture. So to expect the not the government, it's not the government's job, but to expect the funders, the media organizations with the mandate to fund this to look beyond English and French, it's not easy, right? And it's almost impossible because I can't even barely make an English project that can sell, and we after that we don't even have marketing budget. How do you expect me to fund something that is non-official language, right? But at least we have funding envelopes right now in Canada. They're cognizant enough that we have a multicultural funding envelope. So much so that some scenes that Fiona was written to speak English with Goski, that we did all the calculations. Oh, we're 0.7% below fresh. We had to speak enough Chinese to be qualified for the funding envelope. So we stripped all his scene into, from English into Mandarin. I had to write it the night before, right? Her call time was 7 o'clock and I got a call 11 p.m. They said, we're under. We just did we looked at all the dailies and did the calculation. So we did that. I mean, those are the pragmatic sort of reasonings that why we had so many It's actually easier to do a show in English, obviously. But to do Chinese is, you have something to add?
The market is bigger. If you look at art as something that people, if we look at all these phenomena that is happening as something that is, it's a morally or ethically or politically issue, it's a different story. But it's all about money. It's all about, when you ask for funding, it's not ask people to give you money so that you can do something artistic and beautiful. It's about investment, particularly in movie. Today, one of the reasons, and I think it's not about, when we say it's about time, it's not about politically we should do this, but it's really about time that the Chinese market is open up. There is enough Chinese population who will be interested in watching a show like this on TV. It's marketable now. Their investment has the chance to be returned, to earn some money back for them. I think that is the mature of the time, and we need to grab it and we need to use it.